Hello, hello. Welcome back, guys. All right, so Scorpios, let's take a look at whatever the big ticket item is for June. Let's first get an overview for the month of June, and then we'll break it down into love, any blockages as a whole, and any message from the ancestors. So, the overview for life is Four of Wands. This June could be a beautiful month. Lots of stability, lots of growth, lots of achievement. If there are relationships could be deepening. This can talk about maybe somebody's going to attend a wedding, or the two people are realizing that they want to be married. This could be everything is clicking in the workplace. This is basically creating the ideal life and recognizing I've arrived. We've got a lot of lovely incoming energy. We've got this Prince of Cups, which is someone could be coming to visit that's very pure hearted, very like this could be somebody's son or daughter's coming home to visit. It's really exciting. They could be going through a major life transformation, but it would be positive. Even if it's for a negative reason, the actual shift that they're making is positive. Everybody seems to be actually having a positive, like energetic interaction. But I feel like the empire feels good. Okay. If somebody's moving back home, a friend, a family member moving back to be near Scorpio, I think it's going to be really good. This is actually a wish come true. I feel like we're stronger together is like the mantra here. We're stronger together and everybody knows it. The empire is gaining, at least one more awesome person who's coming back to the fold. And it feels like a total wish fulfillment. Goals are going to be able to be met. I feel like more helping hands are coming together, like to be a part of the empire, whatever Scorpio's empire looks like, whether it's, they live on an acre of property and it's like awesome, somebody's moving back, they're going to live in the guest house is awesome. It'll, many hands make light work. Or it's so good to have my friend move back, my family member move back. They're warmly welcomed. They're really glad to be back. All of this feels so like more goals can be achieved in the month of June because of these massive changes taking place. So super positive energy on this. I mean, like super positive for the month. That looks amazing. Specifically around the house, if somebody's doing any kind of like renovations or something, or they're going to enjoy time out on the patio that they've built. There's something about these pillars. There's like outdoor dining, but it's like very relaxing. It feels like private outdoor time. And it just feels very, it's a time to spend more quality time with the people that we care the most about, like the smaller nuclear family, the smaller group in a more private setting, an intimate setting. Also, there could be a lot of great passion. If Scorpio's in a relationship, they could have a lot of really great bonding and passion with their partner. Let's take a look at love specifically. We have a Five of Pentacles, and this is something where there's this light being shed on something that previously was, there was loneliness, there was sorrow, there was some kind of, with that spider web, even the spider web is glistening now. So it's like a web of thoughts. This is actually lovely. This is a Two of Cups, and we have the Nine of Wands. Something is getting ironed out between lovers. I feel like lovers are able to really like come home. There's a lot of like comfort to be had in the month of June. It may not happen instantly. It might be that the month is like, think of it this way. It takes a while when sunlight starts to filter in through a window. It takes a while before you get too warm, right? Or it takes a while before something melts that's sitting in the sun. So throughout the month, this could all be like the energy between two people is thawing out. The bond is reestablishing. The comfort zone is here. I feel like at least somewhere by the end of the month, these two are going to be literally like sleeping together again, and I'm talking like literally sleeping. Like, I don't know if they have a very comfortable sleeping position, whether it's big spoon, little spoon, a funky little way to, hook an ankle in the other person's, calf or something. But it's like whatever their little night sleepy, comfort zone is, I feel like Scorpio is going to be very specifically back in like big spoon, little spoon. It's, somebody's spooning. And it's after obviously some kind of feeling of like, I think this is over, and it's not over. It actually gets better. This all thaws out. Yes, there's still some things to hammer out in love. I mean, we still see like with the Nine of Wands, there's still some worries, or there's Scorpio, or maybe the person that they're bonded to has some struggles still, but it's like they're facing them together, right? The tiger is saying, come on, I'll give you a ride. It feels very much like one partner has something that maybe creates conflict, something that they cope with, deal with, but I think these two are going to face it together. Whoever this is that King of Pentacles. They're not going anywhere. This is somebody making a reaffirmed commitment to Scorpio after these two had problems. And instead, it's like, even if we do have problems, I don't want to walk away again. So I think it is like a reconciliation in the month of June, or two people getting it back on track and saying, I know not everything's perfect, but I'm still picking you. I feel like that kind of security is going to go a long way. That kind of like, proclamation, like whatever happens, it's still going to be you and me. We're going to stay together. We're going to do this. That's how this comes across. And this King of Pentacles is plunking down on his rump, sitting right here with a gigantic moose behind him. Like, we're not going anywhere. This is where I want to be. There's a real confirmation and a real sense of like, oh, I can finally relax. The days of our struggles are over. They're being replaced by, I know it's not perfect, but I still want it to be not perfect with you. Nothing in life is perfect. But when we pick the person that we want to go through the struggles with, and we openly say that, oh God, this changes everything. The dynamics in a love story are great. This is probably the best Scorpio love story we've seen. It particularly feels like this divine masculine. I think if Scorpio's been dealing with, and possibly an earth energy masculine, they are going to exhibit like completely different traits, like super stable. I think Scorpio's going to be able to tell that there is like this deeper trust and this sense of peace and this sense of like, I almost feel like Scorpio's going to feel safer with this partner. Like, I know that they're not always on the verge of like, okay, is this over? Am I going to have to leave? Am I, headed for the door? I think both people know we're not going anywhere. We're doing this together. And that sense of continuity and that sense of like, I'm really here for the long haul, it's going to alter the energy between them. And in particular, it alters the energy in the divine masculine. There's a sense of groundedness, seriousness, comfort, and trust. Like, if there was tension between Scorpio and this person before, that's like dissolving in June. That's amazing. Okay, any blockages to be mindful of in life in June? And we've got the Five of Wands sideways. Overthinking things, over talking about things. There might need to be a stopgap for Scorpio and anybody. Scorpio and their partner, Scorpio and their friends. Don't let conversing about things become gossip. Don't let wondering about things become like this continual flow of disgruntled, like that's all we ever talk about. It kind of says, don't overthink too much. Yeah, enjoy connecting and being present, but not necessarily lamenting so much or trying to always figure out or relive or rehash something. No repetition. No repetition of thoughts that don't yield results anyway. If Scorpio is spending time with somebody, it's better to just be with whomever they're with and leave. Also, like, avoid gossip, it says. But I've already watered that plant. I've moved on to the next. I've watered that plant. And now I'm focusing my energy here. It says be present, because otherwise getting trapped in a loop of still thinking about something else while you're engaging with the next person, either you accidentally start gossiping because you're distracted by what you're still thinking about, or it would be like you're never really present. Also, some things work themselves out. We don't really have to give a ton of energy to it. You know, we can spend a lot of time fretting over stuff, overthinking things, worrying about other people. And then by the time we bump into them again, they solved it on their own or the problem just went away. Sometimes it doesn't behoove us to stress out too much. Knight of Swords in the reverse and the King of Pentacles, both of these things say to keep one's business in one's own backyard. Don't talk too much about other people's business. This again is like a blockage could be either not talking enough to the right person about what needs to be discussed or talking to the wrong person about somebody else's business. And especially now that there's so much trust and so much love being built between Scorpio and their partner, it says that there could be a misunderstanding this month, but also better to go to the horse's mouth. If there's a misunderstanding, instead of like talking about it to somebody else, it says, or instead of wondering what somebody's going to do or what they did, just ask point blank, because the blockages there could come with not enough communication, either directly to a partner or about a partner. But it's kind of like it's with everybody. It's don't bring too many people into one's own, conversations with family or something. It's like, fine, talk to family, but don't talk about, ups and downs of a partnership with family, because then they get all protective or hostile, and so it's just like keep it to oneself. What's one's business to oneself a little bit. Otherwise, that could become a problem. And let's get a message from the ancestors for the month of June. We have got the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands again says that it almost feels like, as beautiful as the storyline has been, we did see the Nine of Wands twice. And the ancestors are kind of just saying like, hey, Scorpio, everybody in your whole lineage of family, everybody has had their, ups and downs and their problems. If Scorpio worries a little bit or has a tendency to worry, it's kind of like the ancestors saying, oh, that's just the way we are. It's kind of like taking it in stride. We got the Ten of Wands in the reverse, and we have all these skulls, right? So it's very much a pattern of like a family inherited trait, maybe, or something along those lines. And the ancestors are just like, oh, make light of it. We're everybody in the family is like this. You just inherited that from us. Even here, it's like the inability to let go of certain things. Maybe this is like Scorpio has a hard time letting go of old memories, or maybe they, like me, they hoard their clothes, or they have collections of stuff that collects dust, and then they fret about, but these are heirlooms. I'm just saying that this is a big collection of stuff that can then weigh heavy on us. And the more stuff we own, sometimes the heavier things get. Or if this is like, I worry sometimes about what if I'm not good enough at this, or what if I'm not good enough about that. And this says, oh, honey, the ancestors are like kind of chuckling on the other side of the rainbow bridge saying, if you think that's going to change, honey, not a chance. You're part of this family. Oh, hell no. We all stress out about everything. We worry about everything because we really care. Look at it as more like however we do things, that might just be the way we all operate. King of Cups, the ancestors are kind of making light of any worries that the Scorpio may have, and just kind of saying, you're just fine, darling. You got a great heart. In our family, we're ferocious protectors and we love really big. But yes, sometimes we take things a little serious, and sometimes we don't let go of things very easy. But you know what? It's the trade-off is we're big time, lovers and dreamers and protectors, and that's a beautiful trait too. I don't know, the ancestors just kind of are making it feel like, Scorpio, you're doing just great, you're doing just fine. It's like about self-acceptance, in case Scorpio worries too much about stuff. It kind of feels like, yeah, but look at what you bring to the table, Scorpio. You're a ferocious karaoke singing, sparkling, amazing, multicolored, hair colored, unique, badass, but soft, warm-hearted, loving individual. You're a King of Cups. Scorpio could be masculine or feminine. They're still showing up as a King of Cups. I think Scorpio has like a ferocious bearing, but also such a loving heart. And yes, our Scorpio could have quite the velvet voice. They may sing something that's like that perfect rock opera. Oh gosh, that song, this came up not too many days ago. The song Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush was redone by, oh gosh, what's his name? Um, not, it's Andre Mateos. Anyway, and he did like an 80s hairband rock anthem out of that song, and it's just fabulous. I think it's the band's name is like Angre or something, but his first name is Andre Mateos or something. Anyway, great cover of that song, but I'm picturing that's like the soundtrack for that card for me right now. It's like it's a sweet, soft, very romantic song, and then you put it with this hard rock sound and it's just stellar. That is kind of the energy of maybe Scorpio. They're sweet and soft and loving, and then they also have this edge to them, this badassery. I don't know. It's kind of cute because the ancestors are like, "Yay, that's our Scorpio." It feels like that's just how Scorpio's whole lineage is. So I don't know, but it looks very supportive. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you again, Scorpios, for hanging with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.